live from Kentucky and Louisiana. 2 Marines, 1 mission. This is Sense and Senseless.
What was that?
Making the sauce. What I was telling you, my deep
Oh,
dark
no,
secrets.
I wasn't recording any of that.
I know you weren't. That's why I told you, because I can see the record button up top. So I always look before I talk now. It's nice when one of your guys comes in and says, gallon of horse jizz.
Recording that day.
I forgot. I'm not going to lie. I forget when you hit record. Sometimes you got it and I don't even catch it.
All right, here we go.
Live from Kentucky and Louisiana. 2 Marines, 1 mission. This is Sense and Senseless. From the hills to the bayou, stories collide. Brothers in arms, now we're side by side. Sense and senseless, we cut through the noise. 2 Southern Marines with that rebel voice. Grab a seat, pour a drink, let's make some sense. Or none at all, it just depends. Sense and senseless.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Sense and Senseless. I am Brian.
And I'm Jason.
He is Jason. It's Friday, April 26th. Those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the family. You can follow us on all the podcast carriers, as well as YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, all under the Sense and Senseless podcast. And if you would like to message us, you can reach us at the Sense and Senseless podcast at outlook.com. Let's do this shit. All right, so what we're going to do tonight. On this episode tonight, we're going to talk about data centers and why they are needed, and also the weapons of today's warfare. But if you watched the previous 2 episodes from this week, you'll know that we've been hinting around to something I woke up on the other night. We was talking about with the love of America. So I'm gonna start with an eye-opening question that I had for myself. So the other night I was lying in bed and I started thinking. I mean, right before I went to sleep, is like if Americans that all the Americans that support both major parties, right? If they all love America, that would mean most Americans love the country they live in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if they love America, they would love. Yet we're always told we're divided. We're so divided. So it made me believe if that's the case, it seems we're mostly divided on religion, race, politics. And to me, this division seems to be manufactured.
Mm.
So I couldn't answer this myself. So I got up and I was going to go write it down and say, shit, let me just see what Grok and Google and shit thinks about it, just to see what I'd get. And the response kind of shocked me because I didn't think that there was that many people that lost love for our country. I really didn't. You know, I hear people, here and there say, they hate our country, but I just think that's just the fringe people. I figured the division in this country was surface level and it wasn't really deep rooted. But this is what I got. This was the AI summary. And I asked them just the basic question that I just went through with you. And it says, you're touching on a real tension in how we talk about America today. Your core point that supporters of both major parties, and thus most Americans, fundamentally love the country, feels intuitive, and for decades it was broadly true. National pride used to be a near universal baseline, but recent data complicates the picture. And the "we're so divided" narrative isn't just media hype, it's backed by measurable trends. Polls consistently show that a majority of Americans express some pride in the country, but the intense version of like the extremely and very proud people that hit a low in 2025. Gallup's June 2025 survey found only 58% of U.S. adults say they're extremely or very proud to be American, the lowest since tracking began in 2001. And the split in it is partisan, of course, but it's very partisan. So the Republicans, 92% extremely or very proud in 2025, up from 85% in 2024. And the Democrats, with a sharp drop to 36%, down from 62% in 2024. Independents also at a new low of 53%. Now, this shows me, looking at these numbers, that our love for our country is based on who's in office. Because if you go up from 85% in 2024 to 92% in Republicans of extremely or very proud, that's only because your person was in office, right? Same way with Democrats. You had a sharp drop to 36% from 62% in 2024 into 2025. It's because who's in office. You don't love your country if you're dependent on who's in office. I mean, I'm just want to get that out right now. You know, if you're following the trend, you really don't love your country anyway. You know, that's just the way I feel.
It's not a deep love; it's a surface love.
It's a surface. It's a bandwagon fan, a fair weather fan. And the other thing that the AI noted, that Republicans and Democrats also emphasize different sources of pride. So you got one side that's freedom, military, and leadership, and the other side is diversity and multiculturalism. Pride in our country used to bridge party lines far more than it does today. The division is real, but is mostly emotional rather than just policy based. On many specific policies, there's more overlap than shouting suggests. Americans often overestimate how extreme the other side is. Daily life, work, neighborhood, sports shows far less division than cable news or social media implies. Humans are tribal by nature, all right? And so America's size, the diversity and the free speech in the two-party system naturally surface disagreements on big questions about who we are, what we value, and how we allocate power. Religion, race, and politics have divided us, before the Civil War, the Civil Rights era, cultural wars. What's newer and feels off is the speed and scale of the emotional tribalism. And what it points out is the media and social platforms reward outrage and simplify everything into team red and team blue, which we discussed this a lot, making binary decisions. And I mean, AI is calling that out. Elites, activists, and algorithms benefit from keeping the temperature high so they can generate clicks, donations, and power. And misperceptions feed it. People think the other party is more extreme than they actually are. So it's not inevitable or healthy at this level, but it's also not some unprecedented conspiracy. Democracies with diverse populations have always had friction. The U.S. has mechanisms in place like elections, federalism, and free association to manage it. The hopeful angle, shared love of country could still be a unifier when we focus on it. Freedom, opportunity, and experiment themselves, rather than letting every issue become existential. And it's sad that AI, you know, I, I mean, it just blew my mind that AI had this in there, because I really thought that a lot of this shit was just surface level. I didn't really think that people would hate their country based off of politics. And I'm just wrong. Maybe like you were saying in an episode or two ago, how that one congresswoman wanted to take away all the MAGA's internet. So maybe we ought to, I mean, maybe that's where we are now. Maybe we do have to get a divorce. I would like to think that we don't. But based off what I found this week, just off of that one question, I think we're a lot closer to divorce than we are about getting back together and, reconciling this shit. I mean, what you think?
I hate saying it, man. I thought maybe if the more stuff that gets exposed about the government and how they're pitting us against each other, and they're working together. We know that. We've said that 100 times, like the UWE or whatever, where they're making it look like they don't like each other, but behind closed doors they are, because they don't want us to like each other. And you just said we're picking sides. You can't you can't ride the fence with this. You got to pick a side. We talk about independence. You can't be independent. Why can't you be independent? Because independents don't get supported.
Yeah, we joked about that the other day, how we need a third party.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
do. I say get rid of the parties, but you said that can't happen. But what we can be is start voting independent. Well, the problem is nobody comes into the independent to vote for because they can't get funding because money controls all that stuff. So if if we can't figure out how to come together with all that's been exposed, and it's not Sense and Senseless exposing it, we bring it to light. It's already exposed, people. It's already out on social media. There's enough stuff for you to research on your own and see this ain't right. Why am I hating my brother? Why am I hating my neighbor? Why am I hating somebody else? I loved what you said. When we go to Walmart, there's people in there that didn't vote like us, and we all got the same goal.
Yeah.
If we just sat down and talked, we all want the same thing. We want to be able to live our lives and be comfortable, have good medical insurance, fair paying job, time off, not having to work 100 hours a week to make it, right? To be able to spend time with our family and friends. Whether you're straight, gay,
Yeah, no, yeah, none of
yeah,
that
I'm not.
matters. No, yeah, no, I agree with you on that. No, I understand exactly what you're saying. I seen
What's going to bring us
this.
together, Brian?
I don't know because so let's see. You were talking about the Democrats in the other episode, and it made me think of this lady that I seen on television. She was on the news. I don't know if it was yesterday, the day before. It don't matter. Anyway, she's on there, and they're talking about this new law, what something that passed in Louisiana, and I'm a registered independent. Always been registered independent. Well, anyway, she was a Democrat that registered independent because if she registered independent, then she can vote in both primaries. From what she said, I always thought that if you was independent, you couldn't vote in any primary. So I never voted in primary because I'm not registered as a Democrat or a Republican to fucking vote in a primary. But I assumed that since we wasn't registered. But anyway, she was saying how she would move her registrations so she could vote however, in each one of them. And what she was doing is since she's a firm Democrat, she wanted to be able to vote in the Republican primary so she can vote for the least likely candidate that would do us. That is just evil.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. So
Yeah.
if she's willing just to say that on the news,
Who else
I'm
is doing
sure.
it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of them, and it's pretty fucked up. And maybe that is a game, to some of these people. And maybe I should look more into if I can vote in the primary, but I'm not switching my party affiliation so I can vote in the primary.
Right.
But I think some states, it doesn't matter how you're registered, you can vote. But in Louisiana, I want to say that you had to be registered for that party to be able to vote in their primary. I could be wrong, but I think that's the way it is.
What if there's an independent in the primary?
I guess you could. Well, it wouldn't be. It's not an independent primary, so you either voting for the Republican Party or the Democratic Party to go to the actual election.
Yeah, and then independent just falls in there.
Yep, and then it just falls in there. It just takes away votes because we can't win anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I still hold on to the hope that we're not truly divided. I think we have a lot more in common than what we think. I don't want to see a divorce, but I think they actually pushing it to where that's going to be our only option because I keep saying we're not accepting that we can be one. And when I say we, I mean us as the United States citizens. It doesn't matter, what side you're on. Or if we haven't come together yet, that's on all of us.
Yep.
So I don't know how. I know it really bothered me the other night. It didn't bother me enough to where I can go back to sleep. I can fucking sleep through anything, but it bothered me enough to get up and research it. And
Right.
I'm glad I did. It did open my eyes a little bit, but I think that just a little bit more reason why we need to keep talking and try to bring people together. Honestly,
Mm.
yep. And it's the same thing, rinse and repeat. Like they say, it's the same people that are driving us apart are the same people that are bringing us the problems and trying to also give us the solution. It's the infomercial model. That's all they ever use in politics. They're never going to fix anything. They're never going to fix your problems. They're never going to fix my problem. Nothing's ever going to get better until we start holding all these hats accountable.
Mm-hmm.
What's sad is I don't know how to hold them accountable either. But that's something we need to do. Anyway, got anything to add on that? That
No,
was my small epiphany. It was sad.
we know the
So
problem.
sad.
We just don't know the solution, and that's the bad thing. And I think the government knows that, or the
Yeah, I
people,
think
they know that.
they feed on it.
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear something
Oh shit! I don't even know how that come out.
I don't know.
Must
Good
have-
thing that wasn't something weird. Ryan's known to look at some weird stuff.
Yeah, well, now we're gonna move on to data centers. This is gonna bring us into our weapons and shit. So this is a chaos concept on data centers.
Data centers, a subject that's so complex, I don't think most people know what they're dealing with. And before you can do that, you gotta go back. And when you do that, you realize that the data centers that we see today have everything to do with this phone that I'm talking to you on now. See, the data centers we know today didn't look like that when they were first created. The first one looked like this, and it was created as a military application. And that was to collect the data from the world's first computer, Enoch, at Penn State.
Nothing close to ENIAC had ever been conceived. Nearly 100 feet long and weighing 30 tons, it contained almost 70,000 resistors, 10,000 capacitors, 6,000 switches, and 18,000 delicate vacuum tubes.
Electronic numerical integrator and computer. The world's first programmable modern computer. Financed by the United States Army. Oh, and fun fact, it was programmed by 6 women. And its first task was solving math problems from Los Alamos Laboratories, also known as the Manhattan Project. Even though what those math problems were is still classified to this day. But the interesting part is, this wasn't just Penn State where this thing was built. They also built one in West Point, at the Pentagon, and at the CIA headquarters as well. If that ain't a red flag, I don't know what is. Especially since this thing was designed to calculate the trajectory of projectiles and bombs. And then later on was used for thermonuclear studies. That's what's so interesting about this top secret classified program that Enoch was running. Because this guy, John von Neumann, one of the people that helped create the world's first computers, was hired by IBM after he built the successor to it. Which, if you know anything about IBM, you know they got a pretty dark history.
IBM technology helped the Nazis catalog Jews. During the Third Reich, the company's German subsidiary, Dehomag, provided the crucial punch card systems that powered Nazi efficiency.
Which is pretty interesting, considering that's the same company that brought the home computer to the masses.
1981, IBM announced the 5150, the original personal computer that changed everything.
And just think, that whole thing stemmed out of the Manhattan Project. Now the big question is, how did data centers go from this to this without hardly anybody knowing? But that's for the next video. Y'all stay safe.
You remember the episode where we discussed the industry in Israel, and we found out that the industry in Israel is basically R&D
Yeah.
for many major companies, and they did like jewelry and shit.
IBM. Yeah, IBM
And
was one of them.
IBM was one of the major fucking companies.
So think about it. If the IBM helped out in the Holocaust, why would Israel be
Don't make
doing
any sense,
R&D?
does it?
No, dude.
Don't make any sense at all.
No.
And if they were all right, so if Israel was brought out to help the Jews out of the Holocaust, gave them a place to stay or whatnot, and so now they have their own nation of Israel, and that was their gift. Okay, now the company that cataloged all your people for the Nazis is now one of your main companies or whatever corporations in your country,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I want them in my country.
Mm-mm.
I don't care what they pay. Just me, if that meant that much to me, if the Holocaust meant that much to me, I don't want somebody that supported the Holocaust in my country. I just don't. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So right now, IBM has roughly 3,000 employees in Israel at their place. So yeah, I didn't get that one. That's one of the things that make you go, because that don't sound right. Now I could be wrong, but
Could it Satan?
could be Satan Yahoo.
Oh, Satan Yahoo.
All right, so there's this massive data center they're putting up in North Louisiana, and there was this guy I found that he's talking about it. He's talking about how much energy this damn thing is going to need. Let's check this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to hear something crazy? You know that large data center that Meta is building in Louisiana? Well, they want Entergy to build 10 gas power plants just to supply the electricity for that damn data center. I'm not shitting y'all. They're going to provide enough electricity to power 7 million houses. But they need it for that damn power plant. Energy has already signed a contract with Energy Transfer for them to supply them a pipeline of natural gas. 36-inch pipeline. They're going to provide them 1 billion cubic feet a day of natural gas just to power the power plants so they can provide electricity for that damn data center. Now, Energy says it's not going to raise the prices for none of their customers because Meta's going to pay for it. Damn good thing, huh? But they're also building transmission lines to add to the grid so any excess electricity that they make can help go to supply for the customers. I guess that's a good thing too, huh? That artificial intelligence must be fucking important. Woo!
A lot of money in AI.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think it required that much energy to do that.
Well, the size of that one, from what I read, majority of the data centers require at least enough energy of 100,000 homes.
I know, but that just blows my mind. What the hell
Oh
are
yeah,
they running
no,
in
yeah, it's a
that?
lot. Yeah, it's a major city, a small major city
Yeah.
that they're running. All right, but why do they need all this? And I think we got like 4,000 of them that they projected in.
Oh, yeah.
US.
You were naming the numbers off on a couple shows ago. It's crazy. Sorry.
And I mean, all this has to be for us, right? It's got to be for our good. They wouldn't.
Yeah, it is. It's to better us.
Yeah, they wouldn't shit on us. There's no way.
No.
Now think about this. They won't create or probably by now maintain a file on each and every one of us, right? That tracks
No.
every fucking thing we do, everything we own, everything in our bank account.
The heart monitor, the butthole monitor.
Yeah.
Oh, if he just bends over for a minute. Oh, yep, we got him. That's Jason. Look at that thing all blown out.
Or maybe you're just going down the road and they just shut your car down. Or fuck,
Yeah.
maybe they just kill you because they didn't like what you said that day.
Yeah, my steering wheel just explodes.
And I'm going somewhere with this. I want you to. I mean, I'm
I
being
know you got your
facetious
hat
now.
on. You got your hat on.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be there. So I saw something a while back about research into the Cash for Clunkers program in 2009. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was whenever they had on television, push, pull, drag, or whatever.
Yeah, they have that up here every year at a car dealership.
Yeah, and it was a minimum. Well, this was one Clunkers program, and it had a minimum of X towards they would give you towards a new vehicle, shit like that. And then, so the real name of it was the Car Allowance Rebate System. And what it did, the government gave people $3,500 to $4,500 to trade in their old low mileage gas guzzler, 18 miles per gallon or worse, for a new, more fuel efficient car, right? The catch is the old car's engine had to be destroyed on spot, usually by pouring liquid glass into the oil and running the engine until it seized up. Then the whole car got crushed. No resale, no parting out of the good engine. They scrapped 677,000 plus cars in just 2 months. All right. So in this video, they were discussing how this program was to get all the electronic operating vehicles out of service and scrapped so the electronic controlled vehicles could be the norm, as a vehicle with electronics can be controlled or shut down remotely. All right. Now, that wasn't the reason that was assigned to the program, but looking back, that's what a bunch of people believe. So in 2026, can someone take control of your car? And the short answer is yes, especially through the manufacturer's system. Some examples are OnStar, Tesla, BMW, Connected Drive, and Ford Pass. Now, I'm sure there's more, but the good news is the government doesn't have access to any of this without going through your manufacturer. And the manufacturer wouldn't allow the government access, would they? I mean, hell, the government, government straight up people, Well, I don't know if you remember when the government bailed out the auto industry in 2008. It started under Bush in 2008, and they gave the auto industry $17.4 billion, and it exploded to a total of around $80 billion under Obama. But the good news is that the auto industry paid it back. Well, most of it. From what I found, the American taxpayer was still left holding the bag of just a little over $9.3 billion. So the cash for clunker stunt cost the American taxpayer roughly $3 billion. And this is in the dollars of their day. It was $3 billion. The total of $12.3 billion would come out to almost $18 billion today. All right. So this was just the easy shit to look at. I imagine if you dig deep enough in all the subsidies and shit that they get through all the years, it would make you sick. All right. So if the government wanted access to something that the auto industry has, do you think they would get access to it based off all the money that they fucking gave the auto industry? Do you think the auto industry would tell them no?
No.
All right, just look at the banks. Yeah, and they wanted information from the banks. Banks give it to them. Why? Because they fucking bailed the banks out. There's reasons, and I got my hat on, but I'm really thinking there's reasons that they have no problem stepping in and taking your money and giving it to them, because when they need something, they're going to get it back from them. But it don't cost them shit. It costs us money to bail these fucking people out.
Yeah, the government handing other people money for stuff that's our money. It's not the government's money, it's ours. We need to stop saying the government paid for this. The government. Yeah, we paid for it.
Well, before long, they're not even going to need permission to get your cars. I don't know if you heard about the 2026 impaired driving prevention rule. All right. So what this jewel does, it requires new cars to have technology that detects drunk impaired driving and limits operation, but is designed to work inside the car. So technically, the government won't have remote access, but critics call it future kill switch risk because the hardware could expand later. They wouldn't do that, huh?
No.
So now they want all new cars to have the ability to be able to turn the sumbitch off in case you're drinking and driving. That's what they're floating around as a new law.
Oh, dude. Yep.
We're about to get a little deeper, dude. We're about to get a little deeper. All right, so now let's come back to present day. All right.
Well, you just knuckle deep right now, ain't you?
Yeah.
He got to the fingernail.
All right, so we come back to present day, and we're going to check on how they roping people in Mexico. Now, this is Mexico, so it can never happen here, but I just want to show you what they're trying to do, or what they're actually going to be doing in Mexico.
Did you guys hear what's happening in Mexico and will be fully in place by June 30th, 2026, which affects 127 million people? Listen to this. And this is what people have been warning about for years, and they were called theorists. Like, there's no way they would do that. It's happening in Mexico, and it's planned to happen everywhere else, by the way. So this is why we need to say no. Mexico is mandating, remember, mandates mean nothing if you say no, that all 127 million mobile phone users register their phone numbers with biometric data, including fingerprints, iris scans, and facial recognition by June 30th, 2026. And if you don't, you will be cut off from cell service. Every single user with a SIM card must register. All phone lines, including prepaid/Amigo lines. Now, they say this is to boost security and unauthorized or unregistered lines that's going to face suspension. But it's aiming to curb extortion. Now, I'm sure, yes, like in theory, sure, if everyone's connected to their ID on their phone, they can't be, that's like safer, like there's less crime that can happen. But is this about stopping the crime, or is it about making a digital database where anything anyone says can be tracked, traced, and monitored back to them as an individual person? And if you're in China and everything's connected and digitally connected to you, and you say something like, I don't really like what the government's doing right now, then what happens? We all know. So is this problem, reaction, solution?
I'm sure our government don't want that for us.
No, it's our safety.
It's our safety. I'm telling you, everything's gonna be about your safety.
It is.
Yeah. So why am I showing you this shit? Well, all of this shit can eventually, if not already, be used against us and by these companies like Palantir. And I'm not only talking about simply taking over your car. I mean, that's child's play. This next video, and I can't tell you if this video is real or not, but I can guarantee you that these capabilities that you're going to see in this video are capable, are real. And so I put this one in. Again, I don't know if this is a real video, so if you've seen it and you say, oh, it's not real, I don't care. This video, I'm telling you, the technology is here for this fucking shit to happen. Check this out.
Customer pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these were all bad guys. Now, that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped.
Pretty creepy, huh?
I need that for hunting.
That's Yeah, no shit. It'd be a lot easier.
Phone
Just,
beep. I got a deer. Honey, I'm gonna go out and harvest this deer, bring it back.
hey, think about it, man. We've been talking about Palantir and Anthropic for weeks now, and this is where we're at.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I mean, I'm sure we're further than that by now.
Oh yeah, and people think that this is like science science fiction and all. No, it's not.
Oh no.
Nope.
This next video I'm gonna show you is from 2024, and this is on Ukraine's war against Russians. Let's check this shit out. Now this is 2024.
2 years ago.
Yep.
Ukraine's drone army is transforming the battlefield. Swarms of cheap, improvised attack drones have helped to balance the fight against Russia's larger army, blurring the line between consumer electronics and weapons and reshaping the balance between humans and technology in war. The first-person view, or FPV drone, did not exist in its current form at the start of the war. Based on consumer racing quadcopters, it's fast, capable of speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour, and nimble and small enough to duck into bunkers. Built from off-the-shelf components, it's cheap to make and easy to customize with 3D printed parts to carry explosive payloads. In the field, it's typically controlled by a pilot wearing goggles that relay what it sees in real time, offering remarkable maneuverability that's helped both sides inflict heavy damage on the other. Soldiers can hide from conventional artillery bombardments underground in trenches, but a drone can loiter near its target, a persistent threat that can strike at any time. Skilled pilots can even strike weak points on tanks or chase soldiers into cover. The psychological effect can be devastating. The appeal of FPV drones is their cheap, accurate firepower compared with more conventional weapons. Unguided artillery shells cost anywhere between $800 and up to $9,000 each. A GPS-guided shell is closer to $100,000, and a Javelin anti-tank missile around twice that. But a simple FPV drone costs well under $1,000, and is capable of destroying equipment worth many times that. Now, President Volodymyr Zelensky has founded a new branch of the armed forces dedicated to drone warfare, and stated his ambition to build 1 million FPV drones in 2024. But they do have limitations. Small drones typically struggle in wind or heavy rain. Electronic interference and radio jamming systems can sever their connection to the operator, making them useless. And while these problems can be addressed with further modifications, those vastly increase the cost of production. Russia now also churns out hundreds of thousands per year. And from Myanmar to the Red Sea, other forces are adopting weaponized drones too. As these hunter-killers fill the skies, the armies beneath them will have to develop new ways to fight and to survive.
It's a new battlefield, man.
Like playing video games.
Yeah, but with real life, and this,
I know.
this next one is I cut a few videos together from the Russia-Ukraine war where soldiers are attacked by drones, and you don't see them blow up or anything, but it's not that bad of a video, but I do viewer discretion is advised. But it's not that bad. But I tell you what, it gets you shitting on you, so I can tell you that, because how the fuck do you get away from something like that?
I don't
Let's
know.
check this shit.
Russia has suffered its highest daily losses since the beginning of the year in the war against Ukraine, the Telegraph reports. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, around 1,710 Russian troops were killed or wounded in just one day. Experts note that the sharp increase in losses may indicate preparations for a new large-scale offensive, as previous daily losses were around 700 to 900 personnel.
Motherfucker. That's it. I mean,
Yep.
what do you do against that?
I don't know. Like maybe hope that a radio jammer or something like that will disable it. That's the only thing you can do because they're so little that they can fit into anything that anywhere you can fit, they're fitting. And they're so precise and they're so nimble. They can go through little openings, right?
Yeah, and it's not a line of sight anymore.
No.
You can bend corners. You can do whatever you need with these son bitches.
Yeah. Because you
Now
can go
imagine-
up high where they can't even hear you, zoom in and look around. Oh, there's that bastard. And then fly down and go after him.
Yep. Now imagine once the government got all your no, I'm not saying they don't already have it, but once they have all your data and your biometrics all loaded into
We're going to have to stop talking about stuff on here, Brian. We'll have to go some other direction because they can start coming after us. We'll hear bzzz outside our houses like shit.
Well, I mean, we just talked about on the other episode that how that down pilot was found based off of his heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the crazy shit we're at right now. When maybe that's the other reason why they're being so hush hush on the war. Maybe they don't want the people to see the capabilities that they have over there.
Yeah, the technology we got right now.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they're unleashing some high technology stuff because of what happened over in Iraq. Because, dude, it's just you're over there like beating up somebody that's already been beat up. You can't even tell you're beating them up.
Yeah.
It's like sleeping with a woman that's slept with like 200,000 dudes. You're not doing nothing to that.
Like Bonnie Blue the next day.
Yeah. Like the last couple guys that were in on that 12-hour escapade she went on. They weren't doing nothing. They were just numbers. Well, same thing with our military over there, dude. You're not hurting that country. That country's already a crap box anyways.
No, you're giving them a reason to fight. At least you're bringing them together, if nothing else.
Yeah, and they're already pissed off people anyways, man. It's like, geez, stop.
Well, never fear. Vladimir Zelensky. Yeah, the old Ukrainian dude. Since he took all our money, yeah, they went ahead and yeah, they engineered a drone killer, and I would assume that they probably used all of our money and our assets to do it, but they engineered a drone killer. So at least we might get something out of our investment into the Ukraine war. Maybe if they sell it to us. But here's Ukraine's drone killer.
If you want to stay safe from drones in the Gulf, something like this might help. It's called a Bullet, and it's well named. One of Ukraine's newest and fastest interceptors designed to destroy Russian attack drones. They're cheap and deadly. This is how they work. The incoming threat is spotted, the pilots launch the interceptor and use the camera simply to crash into the drones. Ukraine has been doing this for years, but because of the war in the Middle East, countries there are waking up to the value of this kind of equipment. And now they're knocking on Ukraine's door saying, can we have some of them too? And can we have some of your expertise as well?
They said the Ukrainian soldiers and the Russian soldiers, they going back to shotguns because of this drone shit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, because you got the scatter shot. It's like shooting birds. You can't shoot a bird with a rifle. You shoot them with a shotgun because you need...
Who can't shoot a bird with a...
If a bird's flying, you're not going to shoot one with a rifle.
Y'all know.
You don't
22
know.
all
you
day.
Don't.
Y'all know. Y'all know.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
I shoot him with a 22 buckshot.
Yeah, with one eye closed. 22 buckshot. 22 buckshot. Jeez. Here's Brian over here making up rounds again.
Hey, man, it caught you off guard for a second, didn't it?
Yeah, I was in on it, and I was like, well, hold
boy,
on,
you were
22
trying to
bucks.
slip it, and then I come
trying
up
to,
with the other one. You slip
yeah.
it. I remember on our last episode, I showed y'all the Trump talking about his discombobulator, and then we heard the story of Maduro's security guard. Here's Trump kind of confirming the story of the security guard.
Weapon use, a sonic weapon that took out many of the Cuban bodyguards that were used to defend Maduro. Lots of people saw the details about that weapon and were concerned. Is that something that Americans should be afraid of, something the United States is combating?
Yeah, it's something I don't want to, nobody else has it. We have weapons that nobody knows about. And I say it's probably good not to talk about it, but we have some amazing weapons. That was an amazing attack. Don't forget, that house was in the middle of a fort, an army base.
There was some bad son bitches that went in there. We had some bad weapons.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Those microwave looking things. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is what I don't want to get lost in there. I don't want people to think that every soldier is walking around with this weapon and that every soldier can jump into that same situation. And the Maduros, I mean, even Marines couldn't do that. I mean, that is well-trained, elite fucking people,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I don't want to get that twisted by no means.
Yeah, Delta Force probably, yeah.
Yeah, having said that, I mean, there's some badass weapons we get now. You know, I mean, what if they mass produce this shit and they do give it to you frontline guys? I mean, that changes the war. You know, if you go in Iran and you got to get on the ground. Not that I want to even see that, but I mean, that changes everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Put them on
No,
like Humvees and vehicles and stuff like that and just start discombobulating people where they can't fight back and take them out.
here's another video describing the sonic microwave weapons.
I don't know what they're using exactly, but I do believe it's real, and here's why. For decades, we literally had an entire part of the government that studied frequency and built devices to control people. Like this device called an LRAD, which gives off an incredibly loud targeted sound. They've been used at protests to make people disperse, and at close range, it could cause intense pain, dizziness, and even permanent hearing damage. In 2016, US diplomats stationed in Cuba and China reported strange sensations like buzzing sounds, nausea, and memory problems. The cases became known as Havana syndrome. The government said it was environmental, but newly declassified files show scientists saying the symptoms seemed more consistent with exposure to targeted microwave or ultrasound. Now, a new report says the Pentagon secretly bought and tested a portable radio wave device that is believed to produce similar effects of Havana syndrome. And we may only be seeing the beginning of what sonic weapons can do. What do you think?
I think we tested our shit on Cuba.
Yeah. We need somebody to test this on. Who's a little dip crap we can go pick, like a bully going after a little kid.
What happened to the Havana syndrome? No, we just kept hitting them with our microwave weapons.
Right.
And then we'll see how deep we can get into this shit. So, and this is on 60 Minutes, this next one. The next is explaining the microwave weapon. And it's going to show you how small of a scale we're getting into this thing. And this is what's making it scary.
Sources from different agencies tell us that undercover Homeland Security agents purchased a miniaturized microwave weapon from a complex Russian criminal network. It's classified, we didn't see it, but it has been described to us. We are told it doesn't look anything like a gun. It's designed to be concealed and small enough to be carried by a person. It is silent and doesn't create heat like a microwave oven. Our sources say the device is programmable for different scenarios and can be operated by remote control. The range of the beam is several hundred feet. It can penetrate windows and drywall. The vital components were made in Russia. Our sources say the key is not the hardware but the software, the programming shapes a unique electromagnetic wave that rises and falls abruptly and pulses rapidly.
Pulsed microwave radiation.
Just what Dr. David Relman's investigations predicted. He wouldn't talk about classified information in our interview, but his research found that Russian scientists had been perfecting the concept for decades.
And what the Russians spoke about was the importance of the energy being pulsed in order to have biological effects on humans. When you produce pulses like this, you can actually stimulate electrically active tissue like brain tissue, and the heart for that matter, mimicking what the brain normally does, but now you're driving it with your pulses from the outside.
An ideal stealth weapon.
Ideal. Because literally, the person feels as if this is in my head.
Our confidential sources tell us the still classified weapon has been tested in a U.S. military lab for more than a year. Tests on rats and sheep show injuries consistent with those seen in humans. Also, as a separate part of the investigation, security camera videos have been collected that show Americans being hit. The videos are classified, but they were described to us. In one, a camera in a restaurant in Istanbul captured 2 FBI agents on vacation sitting at a table with their families. A man with a backpack walks in, and suddenly, everyone at the table grabs their head as if in pain. Our sources say another video comes from a stairwell in the U.S. Embassy in Vienna. The stairs lead to a secure facility. In the video, 2 people on the stairs suddenly
collapse.
They collapse.
So yeah, we getting this thing to where we can it's pretty well portable now.
Yep.
I don't know where that stops, where that goes. I don't know when they put it on market and we can like start buying it from our local gun store. But
Yeah, why would you want that?
Because they have it. That's why.
Okay.
That's why I would want that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? if they shooting that shit at you and you can't fight, you want to be able to shoot that back at them so they can't fight, right?
Oh, it's okay for you, but not okay for me. When
Well,
the
yeah,
woman
well,
said we lose internet for 4 years, and I say, okay, well, you're going to lose some of your stuff too.
No, there's a difference. When you said lose some of your
there's
stuff.
a difference because you
No.
want it.
No, it's nothing like that. I'm giving you a reasonable explanation. They have something.
You're
I
not
want
getting that.
something.
You're not getting that. That's too much for you, Brian. You can't handle it.
She's
You
saying,
can't handle it. You
she's
can't
saying
handle
that.
it.
Well, she's saying that she takes away your internet, and you're saying, well, if you vote this way, all these other things got to follow the way you vote.
Yeah, it all goes together. It all goes together.
It's impossible to do that. You're looking at it in the scale that you can't do. And when you start looking at things in scales that way, nothing ever gets done. She's looking at something that can easily be done. You're looking at something that would take millions of people to try to figure out.
Oh,
She
you
could
couldn't.
just shut your stuff off based off of a fucking voter's card. You
Dude,
would
I
have
can
to
shut
go
your
in.
stuff off because of who I work for.
No,
I'll
what
just
I'm
go
saying
shut
is,
you-
but yeah, but if I
I'll go
voted,
find her house and pull her plug. No internet for you.
no good for you. All right, fuck it. We ain't
But-
gonna argue about that.
Yeah, but you're not getting your little toy. Shut up.
No, I want my toy. I mean, they can have it all I want, but I can buy a tank.
You be misappropriating the
The
discombobulator.
discombobulator.
The discombobulator.
I named it.
It's a
my
beautiful name.
name.
It's the
I'm not gonna-
Trumpinator. It's the
Yeah,
Trumpinator.
It's the discombobulator. There's not a scientist, anyone that would ever. It'd be some kind of weird fucking name. And Trump be like, I just be the discombobulator. And then he's gonna say that fucking Tucker and them are just idiots.
Yeah, I know.
Not that I don't think discombobulator. I can use that term because it sounds like a normal shit. But I mean, he's supposed to be so high and intelligent.
You couldn't come up with a better name than that?
I guess he could have, but he's Trump. Anyway, he's still our president. I
know
still
he
support
is.
him.
I do.
Each day I lose more and more support for him, but I still support him. All
There's
right.
just a little ounce of it.
Before we leave tonight, I want to share one more video on drones and attacks, and I have to admit this one is pretty sick in nature. And the video itself isn't sick. It's the context of the video. So in the video, it shows how Israel used drones to lure Palestinians out of their hiding so they can be killed. And for those listening, the video starts with someone speaking in a foreign language, and they're saying a quadcopter is playing the sound of children right now in Nuseirat refugee camp. Yesterday, a young man was killed. He went to check out the noise and he was shot, the poor thing. So what they're doing is they flying these drones around making baby sounds. People are coming out to investigate the baby and they're getting shot.
Jeez.
Pretty fucked up. Check this out.
يا جماعة الخير كواد كابتر تطلق صوت أطفال الآن من مخيم إنسارات. امبارح استشهدوا شاب طلع مسكين يشوف إيش الصوت في مدرسة طبعا طلع والله قنا صوت.
In mid-April, we were informed that Israeli quadcopters were emitting bizarre sounds, including baby sounds or women screaming. I went personally to Nuseirat and I interviewed several Palestinians separately, and the testimonies were almost identical. Quadcopters were for two consecutive nights on the 14th and the 15th, I guess, of April. They were emitting baby sounds, playing sounds of screaming women. The quadcopters apparently played these sounds only to lure citizens out of their homes and to find someone to shoot. And this was confirmed by actually the reports that we followed up on at hospitals. There were cases of people getting injured by these quadcopters after going out to figure out what was the sound to try to help.
طبعا الساعة 1 في الليل فجأة سمعنا مرة بتزعق في نص الشارع. الحقوني النجدة ومعها عيل صغير، يعني صوت عيل صغير بيطلب النجدة معها. الصوت كان بيطلع من باب الدار، واتكمتر من 4 مراوح. طلعت برضه بين الخيم وقعدت تزعق ونفس الحاجة. رنينا بن عمي في الخيم قلنا له واحد يطلع ده. لكن نظام صوت. أبو أنس الشحرور عندنا في المنطقة في راسه.
واحد اللي بيفكر يعمل اشي احنا نوصله واذا لازم نقتله
ولا بنسوي اشي ولا بنسوي اشي احنا قاعدين بدون مكيفين حل عنا.
And that's
Always-
chosen people.
I know, and I like where they say Israel didn't respond or whatever. I'd like for it to sometime. And Israel came out and said, "Yeah, we do that. Do something about it." I'm not promoting that. It's just it's always funny that you see that in if somebody's up against a business or something. Well, we try to read the news will do that. We try to reach out to somebody at the
Yeah.
business, and they didn't have any comment, which means they're guilty. That's why they don't have no damn comment. They're not going to sit there and say, "Yeah, we do that." What's wrong with that? Huh?
Well, we played a couple weeks ago how they were, well, it was Palantir and Israel, and they were using Daddy's Home and Lavender and
Mhm.
Gospel, how they were making people run from building to building because
Yeah.
the phone, they could track the phone so the AI can learn. So they were
Yeah.
just killing people to make the AI learn. I mean, that's just fucking sadistic, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they have no problem saying that. That's the worst part. The chosen people, man. Fuck the chosen people.
I don't get that. Yeah, but don't get that confused. That's
No, I watched so many videos, and I'm gonna put something together. I just ain't had a chance to put it together to where I want it yet. So many videos of how these rabbis just talk shit about us, and you can love yourself, you can love your race, you can love all this stuff. I have no problem with that. but you shouldn't be talking about getting rid of other people.
No.
Period. You know, especially whenever you're supposed to be someone of the Lord. I mean, we're not below you. And
Mhm.
it's not that I'm not offended that they think that way. I'm offended that they protect it and they think that way. You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally agree.
So that's what
I'm not
pisses
gonna
me off.
argue with you on that. I was a little sensitive of us talking about Israel or whatever because, you know, if somebody that maybe I go to church with or something is watching this, it's they just gonna have to understand, and we got to be more mature that Benny is not. That's not the Israel that I support in the Bible, and it's different. What's going on, the stuff that they're doing, that's not biblical, and you can't prove that it is. And if you can't,
Did I
then hush. Don't sit there and support something because of a name. Support it because of what it's doing. Watch the actions. If the actions don't line up with your beliefs, then stop.
did I
I
tell you
support
that
Israel. I support Israel. I support Israel. I support Israel of the Bible, not Israel of what's over there going on right now. It's not what I support.
I don't know if I told you this yet, but I watched a video earlier this week of a lady. She was American. She was in Israel.
Mhm.
It was years ago. I don't know how many years ago, but it wasn't recently. It was a few years ago. And she's interviewing multiple people, and she interviewed teenager, some middle-aged people, and an older lady. And it was multiple ones, but it was a wide range of people.
Mhm.
And I remember they were talking to the kids, and she was asking the kids about the Palestinians, and these kids just are just laughing and saying just straight up carpet bomb them,
Mhm.
just carpet bomb 'em. The older people, you know, and adults was saying that there's no use for them, you know, that you just need to get rid of them. And what really struck me was this lady. I mean, she was well dressed, so she was 80 years old, 70, 80 years old, but she was well dressed, so she probably had a little money.
Mhm.
And the reporter asked her what she thought about Palestinians. She said she thinks they all should die, and she's like, children too. And that old lady looked at the reporter like she was stupid. She's like, "Well, yes, they're gonna grow up to be Palestinian also." I was like, "Wow." I mean, that's what, and I'm not saying all people are like that. What I'm saying is when you gonna go out in public in front of a camera, which there was no doubt there was a camera there. You could not, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like she was like, it wasn't like it was an undercover recording.
Right.
These people just say this shit. It's pretty common. You know,
Mhm.
you're not gonna walk out in any white neighborhood, you know, and I'm only using this because everyone talks about how racist it is and how racist white people are. You're not gonna walk out in any white neighborhood that I know of and just put them on camera and they're gonna talk about another race should die.
Mhm.
I don't think you're gonna find a black neighborhood where they're gonna say another race should die. Asian, I don't think you're gonna find that. Now, are you gonna find little clips of it? Maybe so, but I don't think majority of. I mean, this was just.
No. Yeah, that's how that whole country gets messed up, though.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. And I wish I could say, I wish I could be better about that. I really do, but
Mhm.
I just can't. All right, well, that's all for this week. Wait until the end before signing off, guys. I have a video to give you a little something to take away with you for the week. Jason, you got anything to add before we knock this shit off?
No, as always, good night. 3 good shows. Hope you guys enjoy them. Keep the
Yeah,
comments
fuck.
coming. I'm trying to watch a little bit more. I'm usually not replying back onto the Sense and Senseless on YouTube. I do it on my own thing. So, but I do say this is Jason of the podcast. Brian's usually on the Sense and Senseless, but just remember, people, we're just like you. We have our own thoughts and beliefs, and we're not forcing ours on you. And we, with all due respect, we're not going to let other people force their opinions on us either. So we're here for conversation. We take the this is something we're doing different a little bit. If I can chime in on that, I've had a couple people talk to me that watch the show that I know that brought this up, and I was like, I brought it up to Brian when Sunday night, Monday or something, and we're going to try it out, doing shorter shorter shows, and putting out a little bit more. So please leave comments of anything we can do better.
Yep.
Other than
we
telling us
appreciate it.
don't tell us to pull the plug, please, because I enjoy doing this.
All right. Well, this is the Sense and Senseless podcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I am Brian.
And I'm Jason.
Here's Jason.
Peace.
The reason that the majority of people don't try to overthrow and challenge the small minority of oppressive elites is because of 3 reasons. First one is tragedy of the commons. In theory, everyone wants to overthrow the elites, and everyone knows others want it too. But no one wants to move first. People fear being the only one to act while others stay silent. So instead of risking punishment, they choose safety and nothing changes. Second, the elites have built complex socio-economic systems designed to be difficult to understand. Laws, financial structures, and institutions are layered so deeply that most people cannot navigate them, let alone dismantle them. Confusion becomes control. And third is psychological conditioning. Through media and education, the population is trained to fight each other instead of those in power. White versus black, left versus right, men versus women. While the masses stay divided, the elites remain untouched. This is not chaos. It is design.
And that's how we end the week.
This is the Sense and Senseless podcast.